Hey everybody, Frank Stonks here. Nothing to say is financial advice, entertainment purposes only. Going to do a space call to talk about the APE conversion and go over the documents and get to the core of what's really going on here. And so everybody can make the proper play. And I'm going to try to get the space call up here in just a second.
Sent you a co-host invite too, man. See if you send it again, maybe. Invite to co-host. Sent you a co-host invite too, man. Oh, he dropped down? There he is. What up, dude?
Yes, sir.
Bro, man, there's people that I've never seen in 2 years on Twitter with I'm a financial hedge fund manager coming in my tweets and trying to say I'm shilling and fudding. It's absolutely insane, man. They don't want people to make money on this.
Spence, people will do anything right now. It's a very important time. Like, we have to be focused, because a lot of these people don't want people to make money. There'll be all kinds of people, new people, and even people with the old profiles. They will try to, get people to sell and all that stuff. And that's why we have to be very careful. And, we have to keep our focus, on our goals, like how we can get it and stuff like that. A lot of these people are just here to scare people, and just to their agenda and narrative. And as we get getting closer and closer, there'll be a lot more people doing that. And I was reading that guy's tweet, and he says like he's some hedge fund or some guy or something. I was like, man, come on. So let's just focus on how we can do this, how we can make money, take questions, and anybody wants to have their questions and discuss, come up, let's discuss more and more. And let's get to it, what we can, the best we can out of this whole stuff, and man.
That's what I've been telling people for months, man. I'm like, I'm flipping ape. I'm getting completely out of AMC. Flipping ape until I hear the arbitrage news, right? And I did it, and I made money.
BJ here.
And now, can you hear me?
Friends, can you hear me?
Uh-oh. Of course, the space call's having technical difficulties. Let me see if I can bring him back up. Where'd he go? Sugar, if you're in there, request to speak, man. Somebody tweeted earlier that all the AMC spaces were getting shut down. You hear me, Sugar?
Yeah, I hear you now. You guys didn't hear a word what I said before?
No, I heard it all. I just think you couldn't hear me when I started responding.
Yeah, no, I can hear you now.
So we talked about buying ape. As soon as Adam Aaron, and it's funny, I tweeted multiple times. Before Adam Aaron announced conversion, I tweeted like 4 days prior. I said, hey, Adam Aaron, convert, reverse split, change QSIP. Like 4 days later, he said, oh, yeah, we're converting and we're reverse splitting and the QSIP will change. Then Friday, I tweeted around 1 and I pinned it to the top. I said, let me read it to you guys. Said at CEO Adam, time to drop the conversion vote special meeting news. The timing could not be better. The market is in perfect range for your retail shareholders to make out on this, because we saw the market starting to squeeze Friday. 4 o'clock, the dude comes out and drops the news, man. And I've been telling everybody that APE is the play for 3 months. but I don't know how much more people are going to come in and argue with me on what's going on here because, and they can if they want, but hell, I was up over freaking 15 grand Friday evening when it ran to 265. I didn't cash out because I know there's still value in the arbitrage. Now, to the meat and potatoes of this, if you're confused about the 1/100th stuff, the preferred stock, the common stock, I get it. They make it confusing. In a nutshell, what's going to happen is when the reverse split hits, it's 10-1, right? So you need to go in whatever AMC shares you hold right now, you're going to divide it by 10, but then you're going to multiply what the current price is by 10. So if the current price is 550, the reverse split price is going to be 55. So it's $5. It's going to be $55, right? Now your APE. This is the confusing part, which everybody was confused on. 100 APEs. 100 APEs that you own equals one Series A preferred stock. But you're not going to get, for every 100 APE, you're not going to get one stock. For every 100 APE, after the reverse split and conversion, you're going to get 10 shares of common stock. So you need to take 100 APEs, divide it by 10. Or I'm sorry, you need to take 100 APEs, and you're going to, when it converts, you're going to get 10 shares of common stock of AMC, right? Don't panic, because that's now at the reverse split adjusted price, right? Which is $55. So I hope people understand that 100 APEs gets you 10 shares of AMC on the conversion at the adjusted reverse split price, which is going to be much higher. So if you bought in at $1.70 APE, your cost average is going to go way up after the reverse split, but the share price of AMC is going to go way up too. So you're still going to be in the money. So don't panic about that. Now, the important thing to understand is arbitrage only has a certain level of threshold that's going to value for you. So if the APE price right now is 225 and the AMC price is 550, there's still an arbitrage gap you can profit on. Now, you need to understand something. When APE is added back into the float, it's 1.8 times the total amount of the AMC float currently. So there's going to be 550 million shares of AMC pre-reverse split, right? Because they're going to add 24.9 million. Then we're going to have a total share of AMC, a total float of 550 million. Then they're going to reverse split it to 55. Now, the reverse split's going to affect APE too. APE is only going to have like 98 some million shares added into the float, but that is a 1.8 times dilution on AMC. Now, APE will add some value in, but if APE is worth less than AMC at the time of that, it's a dilution, right? You're getting a 1.8 times dilution via the quantity. Now, the threshold in the price differences, say if APE is 225 and AMC is still at 550, then APE is going to be diluted into AMC at a reduced value of the current AMC price, meaning it will reduce any of your current holding AMC original shares. Now, if APE is converted into AMC at an even price, say 5 and 5, it's going to relieve that dilution value. And I know it sounds confusing. Basically, if you have one AMC and you have two APEs, and we're going to put the two APEs into AMC, and APE is worth less than AMC, it is going to devalue those AMC shares. If they're the same price, then it's not going to devalue it. So you want to watch the price of AMC and APE all the way up to the date of the 14th. That's the most important thing. If you are AMC only right now, and APE and AMC do not match prices at the time of conversion, if APE is less than AMC, then you are going to lose value in your AMC shares. If they're the same, you're not going to lose that value because it's just going to be a 1-to-1 added back in together, because a $5 share of APE being converted into an AMC share that's $5 has a zero dilution value. But if APE is at $2 and AMC is at $5, then there's a dilution value. Now, the important part here is what are you holding and at what cost average. If you're holding AMC only and you're at a cost average of say $20, and APE gets pushed into AMC at a value say of 3 compared to 5 of AMC, you're gonna get hit hard. You're gonna get hurt. Your cost average is gonna go up because of the reverse split, but you're gonna have a dilution value. And now you're sitting at a higher cost average due to the dilution at the reverse split price, which Adam Aaron is going to try to raise capital at, which means another dilution, which means your value is going to go down again. And then the shorts can also pile back in at the new high, right? If I was a short seller with what's going on right now, I would start covering my AMC shares and I would go long on APE as much as possible. I would first go long on APE and then I would start covering my AMC shares. So as you're covering, say, in the money, the APE shares start coming up and you're gaining value. And then when they convert, they suddenly have all these new APE shares or AMC shares that they got at an extremely cheap price, right? They can go in and reshort the stock at all-time highs. Now, if you own AMC and APE together, say on an equal basis, you're just holding the shares you got from the split, that is going to help you reduce your risk going into this. If APE is still cheaper than AMC at the time of conversion, it's going to reduce the value of your AMC a little bit, but you're going to gain a little bit of value on your APE a little bit. So if you're half and half, you should be okay, but you're still running the risk of AMC being diluted and shorted post reverse split. Now, if you're APE only, and say you got in at $1.70, right? We're already going up in value due to the stock rising because of the news, because it's bullish to be an APE due to the arbitrage play. Now, if APE, say AMC stays at $5.50, if APE runs to like $3, $4, somewhere in that range, I'm going to check the threshold of my arbitrage gain, which right now looks like it's $3.07 for me at the current prices, meaning I would get more profit from selling at that time than I would to go through the conversion. Now, if APE comes down to $1.70 and AMC shoots up to 10, I will hold through conversion because that arbitrage gain is huge. So you got to be really, really watching the price movement all the way up to the 14th. You got to know your cost averages. You got to know how many shares you have of both. And you need to know how the dilution is going to play into devaluing your AMC shares, if any. And you need to know what your arbitrage gain will be on APE, if any. It's very important to think about all these scenarios. Now, the best scenario I see happening for everyone, more than likely the vote's going to pass. And Terra Capital has agreed to already vote yes, and they have a lot of shares. I would love to see AMC run hard before the conversion and have APE chase it. If AMC ran to like $10 before the conversion and APE ran and chased it to $5, not only is that a huge gain for just holding APE, some of the AMC shareholders will have a chance to get some of their money back and maybe get out of the play. But my APE is going to value up 200%. And then I still have a good arbitrage gain to play through the conversion. So hopefully that's right. And that's one of Pete from Philly's thesis is that AMC is going to run and APE is going to run with it. And then potentially they meet at a stable price where it's like, man, if we went $10 and $10, I would be jumping through my roof. I'm thinking more like $5, right? If they both meet at $5, then my APE play is going to play. It's going to play off like crazy. And me not owning any AMC is going to save me from any bad dilution or hanging on through the reverse split, short attacks, and new dilution Adam Aaron will do to raise capital post this event. I know it's super confusing, but it's when you step back and you think about how many shares of AMC and APE you own, if any, you look at the share prices and say, is it going to pay out if I hold on to my APE if AMC and APE are already at $5 together? Do I want to hold through conversion? Or is it going to pay off if my APE is at $3 and AMC is at $7? Is it going to give me more money through the conversion? It's things like that you got to think about. So,
hey Spencer, good morning. How y'all doing today?
good. How are you, man?
Look, I was reading this 8K and stuff, and so like I'm seeing that like they applied for where it's gonna be like 550 million shares, correct? After everything's done.
Yeah,
So
they're going to add like 24.9 million shares to the AMC float before the reverse split happens.
So it's going to be more than that after.
So when the vote,
I thought what they done was that was the amount that they were able to go to.
They're going to add. Let me pull it up again. But right now our float's like 520 something million, right?
Right.
They're going to add another 25 million shares to round the total AMC float out to 550 million. Then they're going to reverse split it down to 55 million.
Well, I understand the reverse split, coming in and everything, but my deal is that okay, you add the shares with the APE conversion, right?
Yeah, when the reverse split happens and APE is converted, there's going to be about 98 million APE converted into AMC shares added into the new float of 55 million. So the new float after everything's over is going to be 144 million.
So, but it can't be 98 million, right?
It's 98 million because what's going to happen is for every 100 shares of your APE after the reverse split, you're going to get 10 shares of AMC.
But I mean, the thing is, I mean, how can they do 98 million when they only add 24 million to the float?
That's part of the vote. They're increasing the total number.
But I mean, if you add 98 million to there, you would end up with 611 million, right?
No. So what's going to happen is they're going to add 25 million AMC into the current float before the reverse split, meaning we're going to have 550 million AMC float, right? Then they're going to reverse split that down to 55 million. In that, when we vote, you're voting to convert the APE into 98 some million shares of AMC. So the new float post conversion is going to be 144 million AMC, plus or minus.
That something just don't add up with all of that. I mean, I don't,
It's because it's confusing, man. They made it confusing on purpose.
I understand that, but I mean, still, I mean, the thing is, okay, you have 1 billion shares out there. You do a conversion, okay, and whatever the conversion rate is, I mean, it seems like no matter what, before any kind of reverse split or anything, all right.
I see what you're saying. I got the answer.
You only have 550 million shares that the company is supposed to have.
What you're getting at, what you're missing is that APE is 1/100th of a value of a preferred share. 100 APEs equals 1 preferred share of stock, right? And that's confusing because it makes it sound like that our APE is not worth what it is, but it is, right?
No, but still, even that doesn't add up, okay? Because with 1/100 of a million, you only have 10 million shares.
Let me read the right out of the proposal here, okay? So the record date for the special meeting would decrease 517,580,416 to approximately 51,758,000 shares of common stock. Charter amendment proposes to approve another 9.298 million shares of Series A preferred stock, right? That represents that 9.298 million shares of Series A stock represents the 929.8 million APEs, right? So you're putting, really, the APE conversion is putting 9.298 million preferred shares converted into AMC. So you're only adding to that float the 9.298 million preferred shares, but for every one of those, you have 10 APE, right? They've written it completely confusing on purpose.
But that still doesn't give you, even if you add 10 million shares to it, okay, they're doing a float of 550. 10 million shares would only give you 534 million, right?
So the 550, what they're adding to the 550 prior to reverse split is 25 million shares of AMC, right?
So
That
in other
means-
words, they're adding more AMC shares.
They're gonna add 25 million shares of AMC to the current float. Those
That's without
25
the
million, those 25 million shares of AMC, right? You got to understand that one preferred stock is going to get you so one preferred stock is 100 apes. So when all the ape is converted over to AMC post reverse split, they're only adding 9.298 million preferred shares of, which are going to convert to AMC to the float. That's why the float's going to be low. It's going to be 144.7 million.
Okay, so in other words, I guess what I'm hearing from you is that they're doing 10 million shares to the float for the A, and then another 15 million shares for them to be able to sell or do whatever they want to do with them.
Yeah, the 25 million AMC they're going to add before the reverse split is what they're going to be able to use to, one, put the ape preferred into the flow, and two, sell afterwards.
Okay.
Yep.
So that's giving them more shares to be able to sell and stuff. Okay.
To dilute us after the reverse split. And that's why if you're holding just only AMC through this, if APE doesn't match the AMC price at conversion, one, you're going to get a little bit of price dilution from that. But two, if you hold through the conversion and your AMC's reverse split up to say $55, Adam Aaron now has a stock of common stock he can share or he can sell at any point in time and dilute you again. And that's a short seller dream on a company like this, to come in and reshort at 55 all over again when Adam Aaron wants to dilute. That's why I do not hold any AMC right now.
Right. Okay. Now I understand more, but now I appreciate it.
No, good, man. That was a good talk. That's the talk that needed to happen. Perfect.
Team DRS, how are you, man?
I'm good. Hey, what's up, guys? So Spence, question. I know we kind of talked about this. So if someone's holding AMC and APE through everything, what's the best case and worst case scenario, you think?
If you're holding AMC and APE equally, like 1,000 shares,
Right.
Your best case scenario, and this is speculative, is that AMC runs like crazy before the reverse split, and say it goes back up. Say your cost average is $15. So AMC runs like crazy and you get your AMC back to your cost average, and say APE follows it up to like $7. That would be an incredible scenario for AMC holders right now. I would immediately, the day before conversion, sell all my AMC, and I would buy all in on APE, because I know that AMC price at $15 is capped because there's only a day left before convert. That price is capped. I would take all that profit and your bag would be cleared. And then if you put that money into APE, say at $7, you know that's going to convert from a $7 APE share into a 15, or with the dilution ratio, probably like a $13 share of AMC. So you're going to clear your bags on your AMC position. You're not going to hold through the dilution and reverse split, but then your APE that you just bought is going to value up maybe 20, 30%. And then you're going to have new AMC shares post conversion that are a way better cost average than you held pre-conversion. You actually will be in the money. You potential to be in the money.
But that's only if your cost average is low, unlike myself, who I'm as you know, the biggest bag holder. So if your cost average on AMC is high up, then you're fucked no matter what, right?
So if your cost average is $30 right now, you have like 2 months before we have to vote, right? there's still time for AMC to run, which Pete from Philly, who's a smart guy, man, he thinks it's going to run. And the potential for that is there because say if you're short AMC and you just bought a bunch of APE at $1.70, right? Would you want to cover your AMC in the money so that AMC runs and your APE has a bigger arbitrage gap? So that scenario is possible, and you have time to wait for that. What the risk of that is if instead of AMC running and APE trying to catch it, AMC comes down and meets APE at like $3. That would really hurt you, right? But there's time to wait and see. AMC did go back to 550 on Friday. APE, obviously, you guys all seen it, popped like crazy. I personally, for everybody's benefit, would love to see AMC run before the reverse split so people can get some of their money back in their bag. And then if APE is still cheap enough, a couple days before, say, AMC runs to 10 and APE is still at 2, you still have a day to move all your AMC money into APE and make all your bag back on that arbitrage deal. But that scenario is very dependent on the vote passing, which I think it will.
Okay, got it. Thanks, man. That's all I got.
That's why months ago I said after the DRS push with Adam Aaron, and I seen everybody fudding DRS again, like Ape Radio and Denaro and these guys. I said, we did good. This thing ran back to $10, $9, but they're fudding it out again, and people are going to quit DRSing, and the price is going to drop again. So I was like, I'm selling my AMC. I'm going all in on APE, and I'm flipping APE to fix my AMC bag. And then just this week, and you guys seen my tweets, I was like, I want to see APE come back down to $1.50 and I'll buy. When it hit $1.65 and recovered, I was like, okay, I think they're getting ready to announce the vote because the market's squeezing. And I went all in on APE at $1.70, right? So now I'm not risking any dilution on my AMC shares because they're gone. I have a good potential for APE to run up to $5 and meet AMC, which then I would just sell before the conversion because there's no arbitrage gain. And I also have the potential for the arbitrage gain if APE stays under $3 and AMC runs to 7. So I'm taking the least risk path forward possible. And apparently to some people, if you only own APE, then you're not an AMC ape and they call you a shill, which is really funny.
Yeah, screw those people, man. Go ahead, man.
Oh yeah, Spence. I just find it amazing. By the way, I'm with you. I'm one of the people that added APE when it went under $1 or close to that.
Good for you, man.
It was a bargain, you know. It's a discount, and we lucked out obviously with the announcement and all that stuff, and it went up. But I just find it amazing that, like, here we are, more than 2 years later. Like, best case scenario right now, we're talking about $10 and $5, which is crazy. After the squeeze hype, that we're like thinking about, hey, listen, this is the best case scenario before we get shitted on more. It's like, I mean, if you think about it, APE going to 5, which will be great, it's still half of what it was when it started, which is $10, which is freaking insane. The whole thing is crazy though. But
if we would have done T0, this stock would have went over $100 years ago, if not more. And Adam Aaron could have raised capital by selling security tokens, preferred shared security tokens. If anything, what Adam Aaron tried to do was emulate the T0 process with this APE preferred stock. The problem is it's too easy to manipulate because it's on the NYSE, right?
Yep.
Instead of T0's, blockchain exchange system where it's 1-to-1 and it's a securitized token that you cannot naked short sell. And that's the problem. And that's why the shorts, we were hovering around $40 when Mark came out with that plan. And as soon as Adam Aaron tweeted, this looks like it's going to be likely illegal, we took a nosedive from $43 down to $5. And that's all it was from there on.
Insane.
So
let me ask you this, because there's still some kind of hope that a lot of us have been holding 2+ years that we'll get some type of move to the upside like what we had before.
Yeah.
Is where I thought with the announcement and the conversion, all that stuff, that the shorts somehow had to cover or close their accounts, close their shorts. Is there still a possibility of that happening?
So
have to squeeze before this whole thing takes in place.
I'm giving you guys very conservative numbers because there's people out there still going, well, I'm just going to pray and hope it runs to 100. And I'm like, good God, you're just giving your money away. So my like $5-10 ranges are just being conservative. Now,
no, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, that's actually smart. Yeah.
I'm not saying AMC can't just blast off and run to $25 or some crap this week or next week or the week after. You never know what's going to happen. We just saw a bunch of shorts get pinched on Friday like crazy, dude. Tesla ripped shorts faces off that were perma bulls that wanted it under $100. They got creamed. And then the Lucid shorts got annihilated on that Saudi buyout rumor. Annihilated. Yep. So is there an opportunity that AMC could run? If I was a short seller on AMC and I owned a bunch of APE long at 66 cents, I would start covering my AMC shorts slowly or try to get it all done at once to try to cover in the money or near as in the money as I could. Because if AMC runs to $25, APE will chase it, meaning all the cheap 66 cents APE shares I just bought are going to value up like crazy. And then there's still the arbitrage gain. So we could see short covering on AMC in the future. Am I depending on that scenario though? No. That's a risk. Yeah. That's a speculative risk scenario.
It is interesting. Yeah, it is interesting that when AMC moves, APE does move slightly a little bit, but when APE ripped Friday, yes, AMC just kind of stayed stagnant, which was interesting.
That's because everybody is piling into APE first. You don't want to cover AMC before you buy your APE. Because then that could cause APE to run before you could get into play. You want to get all your APE first, and then you want to come around the side corner door or whatever, be sneaky and cover a bunch of AMC at $5, $5.50, and then let it rip to 10, and then your APE runs to 3 or 4. So you may have just covered in the money on AMC, and then you're also massively in the money on your long position on APE. That's now going to convert into super cheap AMC shares with a really low cost average post conversion that you can put on a pocket, loan out, you can sell them, you can hold them until it hits the all-time high after reverse split and then short the piss out of them. It's a perfect plan for shorts, but in the long positions can play it just with the same shadow. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And last point, I'll get out. Not a point, but I think we are going to see AMC rip a little bit, probably till 10 or maybe more. Hopefully, like freaking $70 again. But I kind of see a rip going, like kind of like how a lot of these reverse split stocks, right before the reverse split gets announced or whatever, it rips.
Let's say this let me give you my most bullish scenario on an APE movement, right? We saw pumps to the big pump to 72, the big pump to 64. Then we had one to 31. Then we had the APE one combined to 27. The pumps seem to be getting smaller and smaller. So my most bullish scenario is that AMC goes to like 20 to $25, right? And that's me being really bullish and not so conservative. And I hope it does. I hope every single one of the people who own AMC still holding a bag have a chance to clear that before this reverse split hits. I really do. But I'm playing it in the sense that I'm not counting on a speculative AMC rip. I'm playing it on the path that has the most scenarios of me making a gain, which is APE. And that's why the shorts went long on APE and short on AMC.
Yeah, I agree.
But I hope you're right, man. I hope it rips to $70. I really do.
Yeah. We're all guessing at the end of the day, so let's cross our fingers.
And
Thanks a lot,
you
man.
know,
Appreciate it.
another thing, you know, like we are all here discussing anything is possible. Like we don't know what it will do. Like we can, you know, these calls are, that's the reason why we are doing this, like get the scenarios, you know, the good, the bad, so we can all prepare ourselves. And you know, don't listen to whoever, you know, listen to Spence, me, or all these calls, but you know, use your brains and decide what's best for you. And whatever you have to live with that decision. You know, so that's
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it should be your decision. What, it's your money, you know, nobody's gonna come pay your bills. You have to do what's best for you. But this whole thing is just, they have made it so confusing. Like even the best of the best people, they're sitting scratching their head. It's like, man, what the hell? Why did they do this stuff like this? You know?
Dude, not only is this confusing, the whole thing with APE and AMC, the whole market is confusing. Like, it's so manipulating, corrupt. Like, we've been shorted, not just here, obviously, AMC, everywhere. Like, you saw Friday, like, a glimpse of, like, just, just, and it's, nobody's expecting. You can't.
You're cutting off. You're cutting off. Really bad. Is it you?
Yeah, you're breaking up really bad.
You're breaking really bad. We didn't heard a single word.
Okay.
Brother. I think you're
Yeah,
driving.
I'll come back on when I'm not driving.
Stick.
Thanks, guys.
Oh, okay, no problem. We got Ivan. Ivan, go ahead, man.
Hey, how we doing, guys?
Good, man. How are you?
Good. You actually answered probably one of my questions because I had a similar scenario with one of the other speakers, Team DRS. I'm kind of in the same boat where I've been holding AMC, but my average is about $7, and I got thousands more APE, about an average about 230 right now. I have some other APE and another brokerage account where I'm up about 100%.
Hey, you're sitting good. You're not sitting bad at all.
No, I've just been kind of holding out. I've kind of I'm kind of open ears to like everyone's different perspective on all this. You know, these last 2 years now, and I'm not much of. I don't really talk in space calls and things like that. I just kind of absorb what everyone's doing. But yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. I'm trying to figure out what's the likely scenario, what's going to happen. I really appreciate a lot of the stuff that you post out, Spence, because a lot of it makes sense to me.
Because we're Dragon Ball Z fans, man.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to. I posted a comment. I don't know if you. This guy just recently kind of gained some traction on YouTube. Ants Trades.
What's his name?
Ants Trades. I just posted the video, and it's about basically it's another fractal theory that essentially like we're in a 3-year cycle, and we're about to break out of this big ascending wedge with AMC essentially kind of. His price targets are kind of going up into the hundreds prior to this March 14th run, or not run, but March 14th special vote, whatever you want to call it.
I'm not saying it can't, but what's the probability of the market makers and institutions just halting AMC 72 times, you know?
Exactly. Yeah, I was like, there's just so much fuckery going on. Like, and I think that's what makes, because I was really ignorant in the beginning. You know, I believed in the, $500,000 a share was the floor, and just seeing all of the fuckery between January 2021 when I got in up until now has just been ungodly.
Yeah, we were all ignorant, man. Nobody knew what was going to happen with this, and everybody's learning. So don't take it like hard on yourself. There's things I did, and I was like, man, God, I can't believe I believed in Adam Aaron doing the right thing,
Yeah. And I'm still like 50-50 and all that and that now, but I'm just like, I think it makes sense kind of what you're saying is just like, you just need to make your money and get the fuck out, and kind of just move on with your life. You know what I mean? Because all of this has just been just very, I guess it could be labeled as toxic, I guess, to some degree, but Yeah, I'm just kind of in the same boat too. I'm just trying to figure out what the hell's going to happen. I'm like, I got all this AMC. I was so tempted to sell all my AMC because I'm like, I got about 1,400 shares at like $7 a pop. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, do I sell my AMC?
And if that was me, me personally, I'd probably hold my AMC at that point at $7 because the potential for it to go to $7 before the reverse split is pretty good. And if it did, then you clear your bag, you take no loss, and you could throw all that money directly into APE and make even more on the arbitrage gain. So your risk at losing on your AMC at 7 is really low, even if you're diluted a little through the conversion, because your APE is going to cover that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, that's kind of where I didn't think about it that way, because like AMC right now is like what, let's just say 550, and the likelihood of it going up to 7 is pretty strong, I guess, and maybe even higher. And yeah, I just been averaging down. I think I've averaged originally, I think my averages way before our June run up, or I'm sorry, not our June run up, but our split. My averages were like 12, 13, but I just kept averaging down. But then when I was really seeing that APE was like the main player, I was like at 66 cents. I'm like, fuck! I just poured in, and I'm like, just made so much sense. And now, now I'm doing really well. But on my main account, where the majority of all my APE is at, I'm only at 230, and so I'm like, well, I'm hoping that I could even get up to like 5.
See, here's the thing. Even if your cost average is 10, 20 cents higher on APE right now, which it wasn't for a minute yesterday, the conversion, you're going to make a percentage gain on the conversion if APE and AMC stay separated. Say APE stays at 250, or say 230, and AMC runs to 7, right? Then your APE, even though you're under the current price, your cost average, that's going to be erased, and you're going to be in the money after the conversion. So you're out of the money APE you hold right now. If AMC 7 and APE is 225, you're going to gain on the arbitrage play through the conversion on your APE. So you're sitting okay, man.
So do you think like immediately that after the vote proposal happens on the 14th, like we're going to get conversion and reverse all in one day?
Yep. APE will be off the market, they said in the filing.
Yeah, on the 14th.
APE will be off the market on the 14th. So watch. The brokers are going to F this up like crazy. There's going to be FTDs through the roof.
Oh, yeah.
Shorts are going to reposition themselves immediately. People are going to be screaming, where are my shares? It's going to be a mess. And Adam Aaron, once again, has given them 3 months to do this in hopes that they're going to do it correctly. And I highly doubt they do. So my conspiracy theory hope is that Adam Aaron knows they're going to botch this. And this is the second time they've done so, and the DOJ is watching. I don't really think that's what's happening. Yeah. I think Adam Aaron knew AMC was going to go bankrupt if the apes control the vote, who say $100,000 or zero. Because if Adam Aaron can't raise money, right, then AMC is going to go bankrupt because we're not profitable. So when you got a bunch of, Kool-Aid drinking apes who think it's going to 500K and they vote no on dilution every single time, then Adam Aaron's like, well, I don't want to hurt him, but I'm going to teach him a lesson. I'm going to help the shorts a little bit, but I'm also going to unintentionally help the shareholders by making sure the company doesn't go bankrupt. But they are going to get a slap on the wrist for what they've done, which I don't blame anybody for that. We wanted to squeeze, man. We wanted no dilution. We wanted shorts to pinch. We wanted to squeeze. Adam Aaron's not the owner of AMC. He's a hired CEO. He's not like the CEOs of these other companies like GNS, man. They have skin in the game, So he did leave the back door open for us on the arbitrage play. Now, if you are not playing it, that's your fault because you're screaming AMC to the moon and going ape radio space calls and drinking red Kool-Aid, So
I love Kool-Aid though.
Yeah, I got the Kroger drink mix, man. It's got the vitamins in it.
But yeah, that makes sense now. Like what you're saying, like, as I'm thinking between now and let's say, like you said, March 14th, like we could have a bigger run up on APE. But how you were explaining it earlier, just so I'm, and again, correct me because it is still a little kind of fuzzy in my brain. Like I could possibly make more money on my APE and the conversion because of arbitrage.
Right now, if you converted at the prices right now,
yeah,
say you knew it was going to convert tomorrow, I would take all that AMC and throw it into APE and make a massive arbitrage gain.
Yeah.
So watching the prices and the spread in the prices between APE and AMC up to the vote is the most important thing. If we get 1 day from the vote and my APE is near, like say AMC 7 and APE is 5, that is close enough for me where my arbitrage gap is gone, because you're going to have a slight dilution because of the amount of APE going into the float. Then you're going to have the price difference dilution, which is a little smaller. But that calculation could be made out to go, yeah, you're going to make only 2% on the conversion, but you risk a massive downside immediately after, because AMC is at new all-time highs with 25 million shares able to be sold, or 20 million shares able to be sold. And shorts going, oh my God, we get to short this from 55 down to 10 again because they have cash bleed. So there's other scenarios too. This is purely arbitrage. Dade's listening. If his DD and thesis on the buyout happens, oh my God, like the whole game just changed, right?
Yeah,
that would be huge. Or keep in mind too that we got Q4 coming up. We're going to have a good Q4 earnings call because we made billions on Avatar. We didn't make it, but the theater industry made billions on Avatar, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the Q4 is going to be good. The popcorn's going to hit the shelf, and then the credit card's out. So those are all catalysts. So that could also cause AMC to run. I'm playing it purely on what I think these hedge funds and shorts are going to do with it. And if I'm lucky enough to see a massive run in between, no matter if it's AMC or APE, if AMC runs like crazy and I only own APE, my arbitrage gain just gets bigger. If APE runs like crazy, then I make a huge gain.
Yeah.
So that's my theory on it anyways.
Yeah, no, I mean it sounds, like I said, it sounds likely. Like, I mean, you're playing it conservatively just based on what potentially could fuck us over or what could benefit us. And yeah, man, it's crazy, man. I'm just like, itching to get out.
keep in mind the channel owner in YouTube here, one of the guys in the comments, he said something about the McFuckery is massive. Like it's going to be the fuckery event of the year in the middle of what looks like shorts getting pinched in the open market, while we have incredible people protesting at the SEC. You're still today, man. The market shook yesterday, and we saw the tremors the week before when the NYSE did their fuckery event and dumped buy orders and had a 2 billion order flush, and then short sale restriction issue. So there's something coming. I know if I own APE, I have no risk of my AMC being diluted down in price, and I have a high probability of making a big arbitrage gain or gains in the meantime as the stock runs. So for me, again, I'm telling everybody, if I had it my way, this would not be happening. There would be no vote. We would have done T0. Everybody would have DRS'd and the stock would have flown off the rails, right? But I don't have it my way because too many people in the community didn't want T0. They didn't like Mark. Oh, DRS is owned by Citadel because David and Goliath said so, and I read something on Reddit and blah, blah, blah. Well, now here we are, and I am playing this the best way to put money back in my pocket for all the work I've done and to support my family. Now, if you're in AMC only, I wish you the best of luck, and I hope you make money. But if the very conservative scenario I came out with comes true, and we reverse split and you get diluted a little bit and your AMC bag is even bigger and your cost average is through the roof, it's going to suck for you. And I'm sorry, but that's just what it is. Now, hopefully the scenario that Pete is calling for is that AMC just runs off the rails in the next couple months. Like, and you guys have a chance to take profit if you want before all this conversion reverse split crap. Would I take that risk? Obviously not. But I wish you the best of luck. I really do.
We got busy and Art. Busy, how are you, my friend?
Thanks, man.
Hey, Sugar, what's going on, Spence?
What up, dude?
I see Devil Dog down there, Al from Boston. What's up, Al?
Crayon eater.
Good morning, good afternoon to anybody listening, wherever you're at around the world. So I have one question for you, Spence and Sugar. You know, I've been noticing this, and let's touch back on what you were saying that the broker dealers might be in deep shit. We know they are.
Yeah.
They're playing the same game as the market makers and hedge funds, right? But what I've been noticing lately is that on these reverse splits, for example, TD Ameritrade, they did it on COSM, and they just recently did it with WISA. Once a reverse split, they put us on a QSIP. That's just another way that they found out, I believe, to halt the stock without halting the stock, because they're letting the regular ticker symbol get converted and still trade on their own platform, but they're putting, or I believe penalizing, the people that held before the reverse split on a QSIP. So my feeling is that they found some kind of loophole to put these stocks to prevent them from running, because in COSM, the QSIP was released back to the regular symbol maybe a couple days later, if I'm not mistaken. So here I sit again in a stock, not only FMTLP on a QSIP, but on WISA on also on a QSIP. So what I'm trying to say is, what's that to stop them from doing the same thing once this converts?
Exactly. That's why I'm playing the more conservative arbitrage play, which the shorts are doing themselves, right? I have no faith in the broker dealers and market makers doing this correctly. I think it's going to be an absolute horrid event. I think people are not going to have their shares in their account at the right times. The conversion's going to be weird. There's going to be some string of halts as shorts try to cover and move their shares. It's the only way I see this going right is if shorts cover on AMC and they buy into APE as quickly as possible, or cover and just get out before the conversion. But this is, I'll tell you what, it's going to be entertaining. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be entertaining.
Another thing, especially with Adam Aaron being quiet, like when he did the ape thing, like a lot of people didn't get ape and their prices were all messed up. It was supposed to be 1-to-1, but then it ended up being something else. Like everything we have seen in last 6 months, Adam has done. I don't see that it has helped the shareholders. Like the only people it has really helped is either the shorts or the bond holding people. So when you have a CEO, when your CEO is giving away 300 some million shares for 66 cents a share, if those guys were short at $20 or $30, just imagine the money those guys made shorting the stock to the ground. And now they're gonna, once they're in ape and ape goes up, it gets converted, those guys are in money again. I mean, it's not the shareholders, those who have made money. It's the only one people, the bondholders or the hedge funds.
So when, Sugar, if you put yourself in Adam Aaron's seat and you have the biggest financial institutions in the world on one side of the table and a bunch of poo-flinging apes who are screaming $100,000 or zero on the other side that won't let you raise money, if you were Adam Aaron, would you not try to raise capital to keep the theater from going into bankruptcy?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I mean, he did the best he could, but Spence, there were other ways too to raise money. But the reason he did ape and all this, he didn't had to. He could have done easily the way Pete wasn't. There were other ways to make money, but there was no way out for the shorts and the mess, the hole they have dig themselves. And he was like, he was tapped on his shoulder, like, hey, there are people, those who have a lot of their money invested, Spence, and those people don't let their money go down the drain. They go to any extent, like to
like I said, man, T0 this all would have been over a year ago with T0, no doubt in my mind. And the attention it had, we were mainstream media, we were on Fox News, we had co-hosts in our corner. You couldn't ask for a better coach in your corner, man. And all the clout chaser apes who have no credentials whatsoever to be telling people that T0 is bad, that they never even looked at the website, ousted Mark, attacked him. Boss Blunt's out there calling him, calling him a homosexual and a faggot on YouTube Live. And then all the apes are following, not Boss Blunts, but Bigums. They're following Bigums like crazy after he does this slanderous attack with, sexually oriented racial slurs against Mark. And then the guys in Ape Radio who were dropping the N-bomb and telling you to go back to your own country. And that's who the apes are following. And maybe that's why Adam Aaron was retweeting Salvatore Meme Lord, because he knew he was a degenerate and belligerent and awful. And Adam Aaron was just baiting in all the apes with it, going, look at these idiots. Look how irresponsible, unrefined they are. Because Adam Aaron is more leaning left in political value, and he's an Ivy League CEO. He's not going to romp around with apes and fling poo and call people bad words and stuff. So,
our community, as good of a community. That's why, when I go to MMTLP busy, I swear to God, honestly, I never want that community to, to be what we start. When I go in your community, it gives me the good waves. Like, community was above everything. There was no, few YouTubers like Trey and Matt, but they were not bigger than. They were all about community, and even Lou, all these people. But when community put everybody above the community, like the YouTubers, like the space called Cloud Chasers, even Adam, that's when we really screwed up, because Adam started giving shout out to certain people, and their head got so big because, I'm Adam's favorite child, when we were all supposed to be all equal kids of one parent and one company, equal kids. And there was nothing equal left. And I hope, pray to God, it never becomes the no. Lot of people, those who go in your communities, I have seen it. They are not what they say they are to be, or they're not like, because I have seen this for last 2 years, and I hope it never becomes like this. Our community, there are a lot of good people, a lot of retail investors. There are a lot of good people, very hardworking. They came here for for squeeze, to make money and take care of their families. At the end of the day, if you are not here to make money and take care of your families, and what's the point of even being here for 2 years? But there's a lot of people, those who here only for clout, likes, or followers, or how many people come in my space calls, and they became the demise of their own money, of their own community. I mean, they put everybody above the community when community was supposed to be above everybody. And that's
channel owner on YouTube just said, someone build an I Hate Adam Aaron channel on YouTube. Sorry, I laughed. I forgot I was unmuted. I wasn't laughing at you, Sugar.
No, but there will be a lot of this. Like, a lot of this, once people realize, once people don't get their money, or, I hope everybody gets their money. My heart hurts when I listen to Team DRS that he's down, $850,000. That's no joke, man. That's $850,000 of somebody's hard-earned money. And to listen to these people, 50, 60 dollar cost average, to get to that average, their one share has to be, after reverse split, $500, $600, $400. I mean, with the markets, we have seen how messed up the markets, the system, and everything. Do we really believe that they will even let it get up there? And who's going to fight for us? Adam Aaron is not.
The only way it's going to get up there if it's the institutions and shorts that are going to profit on it getting there, which, again, this situation, if you're short AMC and you're in the money and you just bought a bunch of ape, you want to cover your AMC and try to let it run so your ape chases it and you make double profits. Now, the problem is there's going to be a lot of AMC Adam Aaron zealot shareholders who think AMC is still going to $1,000 or something. If that doesn't happen and we convert and reverse split, their new cost averages are through the roof. They'll never get out from under it. So their only hope is that we see, and I'm not talking like I see Pete from Philly just joined, Pedro from Philly. We're not talking like Pedro's like, yeah, man, it would be great to run to $10 or $15, and then Ape chase it and they meet halfway in the middle. There's people that need this thing to run to $30, $40, $50 and to sit and wait and hope for that. And this situation, to me personally, is the most risk you could take financially, because if you read the filing, we already know Antera is guaranteed to vote yes. Now, what do you think all the other short sellers who are long Ape and short AMC are going to do? They're going to vote yes. Jim Chanos is going to vote yes. So we are a community of maybe three. Adam Aaron said, he goes, I follow 3,000 of our shareholders on Twitter. Twitter is not the entire AMC shareholder base. So we're very fishbowled in what we do and say, even with the amount of people we have. But to think that, AMC and Ape is owned almost completely by retail just because there's a bunch of people on Twitter, 3,000 people, that is a massive, massive risk you're taking on a statement like that. Because more than likely, I mean, even people in this call, there's people that have bought and sold. And if you don't own AMC and Ape before February 8th, you don't get a vote anyway. So people buying after February 8th, you don't have a vote.
Yeah. Artists, go ahead. Oh, Spence, go ahead. You're not done. Go ahead.
One more thing. And then
go ahead.
even with that, if you are supposed to get a vote, how many times have we seen people not get their proxies from their brokers, which Adam Aaron warned us about years ago, right? There's a lot of people that literally won't vote because they don't know how to or they don't care. Or all the retail shareholders who have their shares in their IRA. They're not going to vote. More than likely, they will not vote. So I'm betting big money on this thing is going to pass. I believe it will. But go ahead there.
Artist, go ahead, brother.
Hey, what's up, guys? Spence, I have a question for you. You know that I've been piling up on Ape a lot ever since your previous tweets, right? I mean, I believe it was around probably 150, probably, and I think you were waiting it to come down a little bit, but it didn't. Yeah, it didn't. I mean, I was expecting it to go like probably about, I don't know, maybe 140, 130, somewhere around there. So I didn't get any more, but once it was around the 180s, a few days after, I was still hoping for it to go down, but it didn't. And then after seeing it yesterday, peaking out on those levels, 180, 185, and then basically just going to 190. I was like, oh my God, what am I gonna do here? And so I was hoping maybe it's gonna stay there or wait for Monday and see if it pulls down a little bit, but it did, because after a while, I mean, I wasn't looking at it, and in aftermarket, I saw this thing go berserk. I was like, oh my God, I missed it. So my question is, would you think that it will have a little pullback, or is this going to stay going sideways until it has another break to the upside?
I honestly have no clue now. Friday, when I was tweeting from morning to evening, and I said, man, Ape is really pressuring 180. It's on an uptrend. I was showing my charts. People were calling me stupid again. And I was like, okay, this thing is pressuring 180. If we touch 190 and it stays, this thing is going to bust like crazy. Then at like 145, I tweeted at Adam Aaron. I said, hey, now's the time to drop the conversion vote news, right? Man, 4 o'clock, dude comes out. Oh, by the way, yeah, here's the vote date. And then that's when Ape went banana balls, which me and Pedro from Philly been talking about, that Adam Aaron is going to speed up the vote, which I'm surprised that he's doing it after earnings. That's quite a bit of time. But I think he left that time frame in there for everybody to rebalance their positions and give us time to understand what's going on, which is why I'm on the call today. Again, I'm screaming at the top of my lungs. Now your question on the price, man, I have no clue, because we're out of any type of logical charting potential. And the RSI is through the roof, but the market was squeezing Friday. And if I was short AMC right now, look at how many people were buying ape in after hours in the retail community, you know, so it's probably going to pump in my opinion.
Oh yeah, I think it will too. But I think I'm gonna wait until Monday and see how pre-market is working out, because pre-market is always a little kind of slow on it and all that. I mean, it just might be stagnating a little bit, in the pre-market before it opens, and then we're gonna have another situation.
What you really want to look at is there any arbitrage value left in the conversion? Right now, there's still a little value left, but it's not as much as I would like to see, because AMC's only at 550 and Ape is nearing, 250. If you see Ape come back under $2, I would say, okay, there's at least a 30% arbitrage opportunity there. So it's okay to get in, even if you take a little very short term downside on Ape, say back to $1.80, you can buy again, but you're only waiting 2 months for the conversion.
Exactly. So either way, getting in at these levels, it's not really gonna hurt anybody. I mean, I bought a lot anyway. I just didn't want to average up instead. At least average up a lot, because I mean, before it went to $1, I was already in, but I didn't buy a lot more. Because I was involved in these other plays as well, so I made a huge mistake not getting in on more and more and more on it. But it is what it is. At least I'm set a little bit there. I am kind of taking more of my AMC shares and putting it over there. Right. This is what basically I did. I was just switching it from AMC to APE, and so I settled myself there. So I'm not really hurting right now with that, because my average cost is very, very low. Because I've been playing this up and down ever since some time ago, and so I'm kind of sitting all right, But I wanted it more APE, because I could obviously see the scenario play out, and what could benefit all of us, who is into this, and whoever is looking at this the right way. I mean, I don't think that you're going to lose out in any possible way, because of this conversion and all that. But it's going to be an interesting week, man. I mean, I believe that from here on, it's going to be a very interesting month, not a week, a month, until that conversion comes in and all that.
My best hope is that this market squeezes out, because Tesla just put the shorts, rip their faces off Friday. But on your question, right now at the 225 price for Ape, there's still what I'm calculating out to be, considering that there's a 1.8 times dilution and that the prices are split. There's still a 25, 27% arbitrage gain potential, even at 225, as long as AMC stays above 550. So that's still not a bad gain at 225. Personally, me, if I woke up and I saw Ape dropping and getting close to 2, I would start buying lots again, all the way down, even to 60 cents again, which it won't go down to 60 cents again. But if you bought lots from 2 down to 150, and then AMC was $6, $7 or whatever, or 550 still, then you're going to make, 20, 30, 40, possibly percent on the arbitrage gain buying through the dip. The short-term loss, you'll see a little bit of red until that conversion date. But
oh yeah,
I mean, whoever's not playing this right now, the big institutional people, if they're like, no, man, this is a dumpster stock, we're not touching it, they're lying, man, because this arbitrage opportunity is an absolute ATM machine.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. Oh well, that's all, my man. I guess we're gonna see this, what goes down, and prepare ourselves for the best.
Yep. So yeah, I'm not gonna stay on too much longer. Me and my kid are gonna go to the Shrek movie, not Shrek, Puss in Boots. But I think the questions and the combos that we just had in here helped a lot of people, a lot of people. So the guys that came up to speak, thank you very much.
And another thing, I just got a question from somebody, you just answered it, but is it a good time to buy more Ape? I would say, if you have a lot of Ape and your cost is high, I mean, it won't hurt. Just watch how the market does on Monday and stuff. And if you can, I mean, I'd rather buy Ape at $2 and buy AMC at $6. But that's just me.
So what we do have going for us, I'll be a little more bullish here because now everybody's like, oh, Ants Trades has a big squeeze video on YouTube talking about insane prices. Like, he might be right. I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. I'll go watch it. But let's look at what we actually know with what we have, right? Days to cover is pretty high. Short interest is ratio is 4.32 days to cover. So that's a good thing, right? The cost to borrow, I think, is it still at 100%? I think so. There's currently no shares available. Yeah, cost to borrow is 103%. Days to cover is high. And short interest is still sitting around, what is it, 20%? 22.59%. So there is weight on AMC, and that's the reported. So maybe it's more. There is weight on AMC right now, and it could go up if shorts start to cover. Because say this, if they bought a lot of APE right at close on Friday, the price pumped. Now they own a long position in APE at $1.80, and they're short at AMC at $10, and AMC is currently at $5.50. They're in the money. They could cover, make the AMC price run, and then the APE that they just bought's going to chase it, right? Then that APE values up. They choose to either sell and take profit or hold it through conversion. Now they're sitting on all those new AMC shares at a really low cost average while AMC's up at like $55. They can come in, they can loan those shares, they can reshort those shares, they can sell them. It gives them all the power, man. That's what's going on. Is Adam Aaron is trying to set up a situation in which it's beneficial for shorts to cover. It's beneficial to play the arbitrage. He's being friendly with the banks, obviously, because they do fund AMC. They own the debt. That's important. Even though they're scum, he has to work with them, right? In the situation, the apes all came out and said, and I'm not sticking up for Adam Aaron by any means. I think what he's doing is awful, but all these apes said, oh, we'll pay off the debt. We want to pay off the debt. We're holding until 100,000 or zero, no matter what. It doesn't matter. We trust Adam Aaron. Well, he listened to you and he said, okay, well, I'll use your share prices and your value in your shares to help pay off some debt, try to get the shorts off our backs, keep AMC open, and it's going to cost you money. It's going to hit your pocket. And that's exactly what he did. So at the end of this, even after all the bad stuff happened, him denying T0 for me was a big red flag. I was like, this is absolute crap. We would have done magic with that. But we are where we are, which is I decided after Adam Aaron talked about DRS on an earnings call and everybody said, Spence is vindicated, Froggy Styles is vindicated. And we did a DRS push and we ran to $9 and then we started getting DRS FUD again from big influencers. And then Cat Striker tried to cancel me because I canceled my AMC Stubs membership because I was mad at Adam Aaron and challenging him to do better. I knew exactly what Adam Aaron was doing. It's like he cannot operate with apes who refuse to let him raise cash and who are screaming $100,000 or death. You cannot do business like that in this world, right? And imagine this. What if Adam Aaron wouldn't have done this and we bled all our cash out before this conversion play while the market is now popping like crazy? AMC could have filed bankruptcy 2 months ago and we would have never got to this point. So in a way, Adam Aaron saved some of us. He crushed some others of us. And he did exactly what some of the other apes asked him to, which was take my money and pay off debt. And he's not doing it efficiently, but he is doing it. So if you are, weeks ago, if you weren't listening to people that were talking about arbitrage and you were just like, no, AMC to the moon, like, let's effing go, guys. Oh my God. I have no sympathy for you anymore. I hate it, but the people who are protecting their investment in AMC and want to see AMC actually survive for the next 10 years are in this call right now. Everybody in this call right now that's listening and speaking, I'm looking at all your faces and the Occupy SEC team and Busy Brands and Pedro, the artist, Diva, Sugar. I guess Sugar. I don't know. He's kind of a shill, but you guys are the adults in the room, man. And everybody's learning what to do. Am I saying I'm 100% correct on everything? No, not at all. This is what I am doing and what I know. I'm not telling you what to do, not financial advice. But we're having an investor meeting on Twitter, roundtable, about the details of the conversion so we can all do better and the company can do better. Now, that's what I call being an AMC ape, in my opinion.
Busy, go ahead, brother.
Hey, Spence Sugar, do you think that this is Adam Ayer's last hurrah? Because the reason I'm saying this is, as you can see on CEO Block, a lot of the well, some, but many are going to start coming forward. These CEOs are actually starting to step up and speak out in regards of their companies being naked shorted. Now, I believe that's putting pressure. That's going to put pressure on Adam Aron to come out and say.
Yeah, he's ready to retire, man. This conversion's going to happen. Popcorn's going to hit the shelves. The credit card's going to hit. And then he's going to be like, look, I'm getting in my age, my estate. I need to retire. He'll sit on a bunch of boards for years. He'll probably still get a seat at the AMC board or something like that. I don't know. Maybe as just a non-employee board member. But he's got more money than he's ever had. He's at the peak of his career. He's about to do this big conversion play, which is going to save AMC for another year or two. And he put popcorn and credit card on the shelf and restored a lot of people's faith in the celebrity movie industry. I mean, he promoted celebrities all year, like Tom Cruise, Nicole Kidman. And he can step away from this after this conversion, making even more money because now all his shares are valued up, right? And if he decides to leave, he gets his RSUs awarded because of the reverse split, the cost price, the cash raised, and the new revenue streams coming in a good Q4. And he walks away and say Sean Goodman becomes the new CEO, right? Well, why wouldn't you walk away? Because as soon as this happens, and a lot of the AMC apes who are AMC to the moon and I'm only holding AMC or die, they're going to lose their shit after this conversion hits. If AMC doesn't run properly, they're going to have bags of $200 cost averages and they're going to lose it. And Adam Aron's going to have people trying to find him publicly and harass him from the retail investment community. So yeah, I'd say he's absolutely, and not to mention that he has done things. He's an industry player. He has played the game with Wanda. He's played the game with Apollo. If they come in and they look at what's going on in AMC, he may be held accountable for certain stock manipulations in the flow of the AMC stock. And that's why he doesn't want share intel in there. So I would be out the door immediately if I was him.
And, another thing, he has always been a suit. It's not like Elon Musk, who he made the company from scratch and, he saved the company, regardless of whatever cloud chasers or grifters say. It's the retail who really saved the AMC company. Whether it was buying all the shares or buying all the tickets or buying all the merchandise, the whole credit goes to retail. Now, it's not Adam Adams. I don't say as much as I don't use word hate, but as much as I hate that snake CEO, a lot of fault is our own. When you start worshiping a man into a god, a CEO every day in these calls, you go in these calls, except these calls, there not even one other call that really will even ask Adam Aaron question. When every day you go in these calls, they're busy worshiping a man like a god, how good of a job he has done and how good he is doing. And, he just took advantage. He took advantage of the people, of the retail investors. And he's 69 years old, man. I mean, why would he be spending the rest of his life around a theater chain? I mean, how many more years he has got to live? It's just sad that when I came here for when we came here for squeeze. Then it was market transparency. After the buy button was taken out, it's 2 years. We all came here because we wanted more transparency. What happened 2 years ago, we didn't want that to happen, but it has happened so many times in the last 2 years. And at least there are CEOs, they are trying because they have no other choice. They haven't made $100 million like Adam Aaron in the last 5 years. So they're doing the best they can so they can make money and their companies can stay afloat. And to me, it's just it has been a disgrace. I'll never follow anybody blindly, and but it's a lesson learned. And now I hope people can do what's best for them and make money and stop worshiping a man into God, man. Okay,
Yeah,
your parents, but if you want somebody to be your God, make your parents your God. Do something for them. Enough of this blind worshiping thing. His ego got so big that he can never do anything wrong. Look at Highcraft. People are still with the average cost of $2 some cents, and look where that is sitting. It's just a disgrace.
yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, that's all I really got to say on everything. Please go read and reread the SEC filings on AMC Investor Relations. Understand the conversion ratio. Understand how dilution can affect your AMC stock if AMC and APE still have a price difference at the day of conversion. Understand the amount of shares that are going to be converted and issued and how that factors into dilution. And think of every scenario that could happen. I thought like over 15 scenarios. Pedro told me like 10 scenarios. I'm looking at Dade's scenarios. Sugar doesn't put anything of value into any of this besides just being a co-host. But I picked the probability of the best chance of success was all these certain scenarios, and T-Dog too. Me and Pedro and T-Dog have all kind of individually, without talking to each other, came to the same type of conclusion on this. And I'm playing it the way I best see getting my money and getting my gains, which AMC is going to do AMC. Nothing I do holding AMC into a giant bag or APE into a giant bag is not going to help AMC stay afloat. Me making money and making sure my investment account and being a stable and happy investor is going to keep AMC afloat, because I'm going to go spend my money at the theater or buy gift cards or whatever it is. So,
and one more thing, like whatever we talk here, if your cost average is 30, 40, $50, nobody's trying to ask anybody to sell, man. You do, if you are okay with holding 1 or 2 years, or even if you got, who knows, maybe it can go to that high, in the next few months. So, there is always a hope. And if you are okay, if not now, maybe 6 months, a year or 2 year, whatever, it's okay. If you are okay with that, don't take loss. If you want to play it smarter or do it do what's best for you. It's your money. Stop listening to people, those who are still saying 1,000 a share or 10,000 a share. Just use your brains. Like, we have seen enough of that in last 2 years.
So, before we go, because I'm going to get off here in a sec, Shug, but I just want to say my best hope scenario here for everyone is Monday through the next couple weeks, we see AMC just rip like $10, $12, $15. The last big rip we had was like $27. Besides the DRS push, we see $10. We have a great earnings call. It goes to like 15 or whatever. Because no matter what, that helps some AMC shareholders maybe help fix their bags a little bit. But the APE is going to convert value up or have a huge arbitrage gain. So that's a huge moneymaker for retail that owns APE if AMC runs like crazy and APE tries to follow but maintains a gap. Now, if AMC runs and APE runs and they both meet at $10, boy, I'm selling right before that conversion. You better believe that. That's going to be paying off the house. But afterwards, you got to understand, we're going to have, like, as of now, the price is now a potential $55, $60 share price post reverse split. Adam Aaron's definitely going to dilute. He's going to raise money because he needs it. He's got the shares to do it if the vote passes, which I almost guarantee you it's going to pass. Vote any way you want. I'm not discouraging you from voting no if you want to vote no. And then it's going to be a perfect target for short sellers to come in on a company that has a cash burn, that has a huge, huge share price on a small float, post reverse split, where the CEO is going to be diluting the stock. So, there's a potential downside to go from 55 to 20 again. So I wouldn't doubt if short interest went through the roof after this is all done. So that's the best case scenario is you do that. And if you take a hit, you can always try to play the downside with some puts post reverse split. And hopefully, you know, you play it from, you could do 55 to 30 and make some of your money back if you can do that. But I'm hoping AMC runs like crazy. I'm hoping Ape tries to follow it. I would love for it to catch AMC up at like $10 or something like that. But if it doesn't, and I see AMC like 10 and I see Ape at 5, then I'll let it convert and I'll immediately sell after. And then I'll look and see what happens when AA starts to dilute again. And that's it. That's it for me, man. So.
And we will try to do more calls, whatever we can till all this is settled. Once this is settled, man, I'm not doing any more calls after this post reverse split. I don't want to be here. I don't want to see people hurt. We are doing, me, Spence, anybody, we are doing these calls only till that time.
If you believe sugar, raise your hand.
I am not. I'll do calls on other calls, let's just chilling and stuff. But I'm not going to talk stock. This thing has given me more gray hair in last 2 years than I've got in the rest of my life. I don't want that stress and that, you know. I don't want, brother.
We'll do fun calls. We'll do APE conversion profit winner fun calls.
Yeah, we'll do happy calls, not
grape radio.
No, my fake radio is better than grape, man. Come on.
We'll do your fake radio, man.
Yeah, we'll do the happy calls, man. And once I hope everybody, like people make money, not lose their ass. And after that, this post split and everything, we will only do calls that are good and no stress. I don't want no more stress in my life. I had enough of this shit.
Well, I just want to say real quick, there's 140 people on the YouTube stream. Thank you, everybody, for coming in the comments with your questions and your concerns and comments. Absolutely awesome. Subhash the boss just told me, he's always in the chat, man. He's a real good dude. He says, hey, Froggy, don't pay off the whole house 100%. Some debt is good. Yeah, no, I won't pay the whole house off, obviously. I'll take a big chunk out of it, though, that's for sure. And then I get to refinance for free anytime next year or the year after, because my mortgage company was awful. So they offered me a free refi. So I'm pretty lucky on that. But guys, thanks. Please, the call's recorded. It's recorded on YouTube. This was a phenomenal call. We were on point. We answered a lot of questions. This was great. I want to thank everybody that came in. Please share it. Share the call on Twitter and share the YouTube video I posted so people can hear this.
Yep. Busy. Thank you for coming, team DRS and everybody, Pedro, everybody, those who came. And we will try to do calls like these more on, point where we can get our answers and questions and not like 5-6 hour calls. So Spence, thank you for doing this. And, see you guys on the...
I want to say thanks to Dave, Diva, and Jack too, because Jack did everyone. Diva's always working for free on YouTube, moderating, helping people answer questions. Jack went and did the community the biggest solid I've seen anybody do when he confronted AA and asked him about share intel and whatnot, because that was a huge red flag for me going, he is going to do what he's doing for the shorts and the banks. And then Dade's, I really hope Dade's DD on the buyout comes true in the next 2 months. I'll tell you what, man, if Paramount comes in or somebody comes in and buys AMC out in this period with this conversion, there's going to be some fireworks. So I really hope that comes true too. Thanks for Dade for posting all that DD online. And Shug, thanks for co-hosting. Busy. Team DRS, you guys all rock, man.
Always, brother. Have a great night. Enjoy
everybody. Thank you so much. Please like, subscribe. Guys, share the video so people can listen and understand. This is really important, man. People need to understand what's going on. And people can call me a shill or whatever they want. I don't care, because I'm right and I've been right. And that's why I'm up an incredible amount of money on my ape right now. And I'm going to make even more. And I'm going to cash out of this 2-year squeeze play that never happened way in the money, because I did the DD, kept my head on level. Thanks to Mark Cahotis for coming in and educating everybody for the past 2 years, even though he was attacked by all the apes nonstop in a ridiculous manner. He brought massive experience into this community. Terrible started it. She brought in a lot of great people. She got attacked like crazy. I can't thank Terrible enough for how much she's educated me on how to behave, the ethics of social media, how to do stuff like this. She's educated me in a way I never thought I would be. Thank you to her. Thank to everybody in the chat. Please like, sub, share the video. You guys have a great weekend.